Coming to you live from the bridge, tonight's guests include Mr. Shaun Woods, also known as Witness, and the special musical guest is Witness.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Bridge. I am your host, James J.R. Edwards. Look, do me a favor. Go ahead and like, share, invite, let someone know that Bridge the Gap J is on now. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Monday night, and I'm excited to be before you. Look, how has your day been going? I know I've had a wonderful day today, and I have an awesome guest, Shaun Woods. We call him Witness. He's here. But let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation in life that it seemed to have blindsided you, kind of shaking you up just a little bit? It was something that was unexpected. You didn't think that this was going to happen to you at this particular juncture in life. It looks like everything was going well for you. Well, look, brothers and sisters, I want you to know that things are going to get better for you. Things are going to get better for you and your family. Things are going to get better all the way around. Look, type on the screen real quick. Things are going to get better. Now, look, as I get ready to bring Witness on, we have an excellent show. But before we bring him on for the interview, there's a video that I want you to watch. And the video is entitled Pain. It's written by Witness. And it was something that had transpired in his life, him and his wife, that was unexpected. They didn't think this was going to happen. It wasn't something that they were hoping and wishing for. It kind of threw them off, rocked their world a little bit. But he's in this next song, you're going to see how he has used his gift to help birth something. The Bible speaks about when you have put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And praise can be articulated in various ways. In this particular way, Shaun articulated through his words. He articulated it through rap. And we're going to talk about this once we come back. So I hope you enjoy this video entitled Pain by Shaun Witness Woods.
So you don't really know pain until you're thankful for it. Because if truth be told, some of the pain you went through and got through will be motivation to get through the pain that you're going through. Real life. I'm just trying to find a reason for all of this pain. And where are the tools to fix a broken heart from the hurt this life brings? And there's no need for umbrellas, cause it pours when it rains. So I fall down with my head up, asking God to help me maintain and stay sane. I'm stronger than most, so if I tell you that I'm hurting, I'm carrying burdens too big for the average person. Maine died on a Wednesday, that was the saddest day. His birthday was on Friday. Then on Saturday, my daughter was stillborn. Then almost shattered me, could understand how before birth my baby could pass away. No man so wifey, he couldn't wait to see his niece, and he got his wish, but we ain't know it was gonna be like this. So I'm depending on you, Lord, to see us through like only you can do. And baby girl, fly high, daddy ain't worried about you. I know God and Uncle May got you. I'm just trying to find a reason for all of this pain. And where are the tools to fix a broken heart from the hurt this life brings? And there's no need for umbrellas, cause it pours when it rains. So I fall down with my head up, asking God to help me maintain and stay sane. Don't care about rap or listen if you had me high on those. Ain't caring how slappers witness dig get classified no more. It's harmony when I rhyme rhymes, my story faith and my art sings. Stevie Wonder with the lifelines, Jimi Hendrix on the heartstrings. And just like skies, all my eyes do is rain, rain. Like water on window, when tear on my skin roll, it look like the same pain. But life can't have pain in it, like sunlight that shine down on water to grow everything living. Same thing, whatever life's hand throws, I can handle. Strong soldiers get the tough battles, guess I am Joe. But that still don't erase all the trials and tribulations I face. I'm just trying to find a reason. All of this pain. And there's no need for umbrellas, 'cause it pours when it rains.
All right, we're back. Go ahead, like, share, comment, let someone know. Bridge the Gap J is on. And did you not enjoy that video we just seen? Man, pain. And as you can see, we have in the studio right now Mr. Shaun Witness Woods. How's it going, bro?
What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, everything is well, man.
All right.
Look, Shaun, before we go into in depth with everything with this interview,
Okay.
I want to ask you, what comes to mind when you hear the word rap?
When I hear the word rap, I think communication. The word rap is slang that was brought about in the 70s for like, they used to tell the young dudes, let me rap with you, young blood. You know what I'm saying? So I first think communication, then I can think of a couple of acronyms like rhythm and poetry, reaching all people.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Y'all see that rap started in the 70s, and we had a little sidebar conversation before we came on the air, and you think about it, man, rap back then was like, the hip hop, hippity, the hippity hip hip. Y'all see, you had all that, it was like real hard,
Right.
and
Right.
stuff, and then it has evolved, but just that definition as far as, or the acronyms, rhythm and poetry, that is because it's usually telling a story
Right.
some kind of way to get your point across.
Right.
So even with that, in this song, Pain,
Yes.
we see that you were walking through the graveyard and you was telling a story, and the story, even the storyline, it has a serious undertone to it. Man, what was the backing of that? Like what birthed this?
Okay, so the basis of the song comes from last year. Me and my wife, we lost a child, but so that was actually a hard week. Earlier that week, one of my friends, he was part of a poetry collective that I'm a part of called a Word Society. He actually passed on that Wednesday, and we found out about the baby being stillborn on Friday, which was actually his birthday. So, losing a friend, then knowing that he died 2 days before his 50th birthday, then to also find out that our child was stillborn on that same day. It was a lot going on. So if you listen to the song, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The song actually wrote itself. That was, at the time, that was pretty much the only way that I could get some type of relief from just everything that was going on.
Now, as a musician, we often say sometimes that music has a way of conveying a message that sometimes the spoken word doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, you use that was like your fuel of release.
Right.
Because you think about now, many people find ways to release certain things by, I call it, social media seems like has become the new couch or the therapy couch.
Right.
Right. But I've been watching you for years, man, and I think the first time I heard about that was before the Witness. I don't think you was throwing Witness did back
Oh
in the
no
day.
no 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 no
No,
no
no. Okay,
no
okay.
no,
So
not at all.
back in the day, man, it was something for those of you that might know or heard of Danville Gone Wild. Back in the days, man, there were some CDs that came out. Shout out to my brothers from the Medina brothers, man. It was some DVDs that come out. It was called Danville Gone Wild. But you were on it rapping
Yeah
as a young cat
yeah
that when I heard your lyrics, and I'm not so much into the rap thing, but there's certain things I can listen to, like
yeah.
your Christian rap, your even before, you know what I'm saying, your words and your lyrics carried weight. They're like for somebody that's not really that grew up in the area or whatnot, man.
Yeah.
So how long have you actually been rapping?
I started when I was 11. So let's see, I'm 38 now. It's 27 years.
20, man.
Yeah.
And now, I know for me, my grandmother put me in music. She had me taking lessons, trying to keep me out of trouble.
Right, right,
You
right.
know, a little bit. So, would you say your rap and got you in or helped get you out?
For me, it was a way to communicate. You know, being younger and seeing a lot of things growing up. You know, we from the era of, you know, you seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, it first started off as poetry, and it eventually turned into lyrics. So it was just a way for me to actually, you know, express myself without being told, "Shut up, boy, sit down somewhere."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, now, are you from Danville?
I'm originally from Yanceyville,
Okay.
North Carolina. I stayed in Dry Fork for I think about 6 years. Then I moved back to Yanceyville.
Got you. Okay. So it was a way of communicating.
Hmm.
And now, how old are you, Sean?
38.
All right, you're 38. This is your way of communicating. How have you seen uh, this? Let me see how I'm gonna phrase it. When it comes to communicating, how well is rap viewed? Like accepted? Is it more accepted now or?
I would definitely like the acronym "Reaching All People" definitely applies because I mean it went from what they called a fad that wouldn't last. They didn't think it was gonna last, you know, no more than a couple of months, and now it's the biggest form of music, you know what I'm saying, in the world.
Now, what would you say to people that may say that's gibberish, or, because sometimes I think some of the older generation and some of them they seem like the speed of it they can't comprehend. So
Hmm.
because they can't comprehend it, they feel like you're not saying nothing.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to people? How can the message, like you said, reach all people that they can? What would you say to them in order to help them understand what's being
I would just tell them
conveyed?
to listen. I mean, you know, you gotta listen, get out of your comfort zone. If it's something that you feel like is too much, maybe you just need to take the time to actually really listen to what a person is saying.
Right, because like I said, man, your rap lyrics, just like now in the song with the pain, man, just how you was conveying and articulating the words, you could understand it. And I remember like one of my favorite songs that you have done now. Well, before we go there,
Okay.
what transitioned you from really like the street to come witness? Because it would seem like sometimes that you are received more almost in the world
Hmm.
than it is in church, because that was a barrier that has been there that church folk sometimes cannot understand or accept.
Right.
So what birthed that transition?
Well, at the time when I was working on an album called My Motion Picture, right? Um, I had been through so much, and I say in a time span between maybe like 2000 and let's say maybe 2000 from 2005 to 2009. Um, I was just doing a lot of stuff that I'm not proud of. You know,
And
that's
so
why
then
when you said was my name Witness back then, I said nah, because back in those days the word witness was very far away from me. That wasn't a good thing. You
right,
know,
right.
so I had everything from selling weed to robberies, just a little bit of everything. Then like a couple of my friends, like a lot of close friends, ended up going to prison. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me having to kind of like make certain decisions that it's hard to explain because it's like I would find God finding me everywhere I went, and I just could not escape it. Just being honest. I had a time where I was sitting at my table at home bagging up weed, and as I'm doing it, my oldest son is behind me. So I turn around and look and see him, and I felt so convicted, man. And at the time, that was the only way that I was providing. Not saying that I was able to provide, but it was the only way that I was providing. I was just doing that. But I said, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want him to grow up seeing me do this. So, as an act of faith, I took everything I had on the table, drove down the street, threw it out. And I said, okay, God, you see me. You know what this was for. I need for you to have me now. And honestly, from that time to this one, he has. I actually got a job where I was traveling, and I was in San Antonio, Texas. And I walked in, and the front, the desk clerk, she had some music playing. She was actually playing Smokey Norfolk's record, "I Need You Now," right? So I'm just keeping it all the way honest.
That's it. We on the bridge. Let's keep
So you
100.
remember back in the day, like early '90s, well late '90s, early 2000s, where like 97.1 would be on. It might be playing like some slow jams.
Yeah.
You might be like with your girl or something.
Yes,
Then
sir.
before you know it,
Boom,
Kirk Franklin,
come
you know
on,
what I'm
2
saying, the
o'clock in the
smoking
morning.
nerd. You like, whoa. So I used to hear that song all the time, man. And at the time, I wasn't realizing that it was ministering to me then. You know what I'm saying? But actually, when I got on the road, I was in that hotel, and she was playing a song, and I was just messing with her, like, what you know about that? She was like, what you know about it? So we got to talking or whatever. So she ended up burning me a copy of that CD, Smoking Nova's first CD. So it's so crazy because like I went from, we would drive, like let's say we had to go from High Point to Atlanta or something. I would go from playing Outkast to playing UGK to playing T.I. to playing Smoking Norfolk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it was. So it went from from that to one day I think I was off. I don't know if it was just like a week that we didn't have to work. I ended up going with who's now my wife. I ended up going with her to church because I ain't really had nothing else to do. So I was like, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? I'll go. So I ended up going, and I actually ended up like really liking it. You know what I'm saying? So, I went back, and it's so crazy. We was actually in the process of recording this album called My Motion Picture. I messed around to go to church one Sunday, and I got saved. I received the Holy Ghost. After that service, I was supposed to go to the studio to record a song, and I could not finish the song to save my life, man. It was crazy. Like it just something just kept happening. It would not work. It would not work. Also at this time, we had a situation with Ski Beats.
Okay.
The guy who produced on Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. So we had a situation with him. Ended up having to go to his studio, because we already had something set up. And it kind of felt awkward because the way that I was rapping wasn't
Your lifestyle.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it was more so like I'm talking about God and stuff now. So it was like, okay, like what's happening? And the crazy thing about it, honestly, if you listen to a lot of my old music, not the party stuff, but the stuff that actually deals with, like the real content, you could hear my my heart in that and my heart for God in that music as well. So, you know, just that's pretty much what it was. I know it may have been long, but I had to tell all
No,
of
no,
that
no.
just to
You
bring
got
you
it.
up to
Hey,
speed.
this is. I believe it's helping somebody right now, man.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you were sitting at the table bagging your weed and everything like that, and many people don't know that took a lot, for you just
Oh
to sit there and
yeah.
be like, look,
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
throw all this
When you
away, and
when you gotta sit in the house and all you got is a kerosene heater, and you know that's the only way you can heat the house. Really, just heat this room, and everybody got to pile up in it, and you, as a man, trying to figure out what you gonna do, and that's the way that you are providing at the time, and you make that jump. Like it's like, okay, God, now I know you see me, So
now
yeah.
see that's something. So you opening up. This is good because many don't know. I tried hustling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that I would say to anybody when it came to hustling is, for me, I've been playing as long as I've been playing. This year is 30 years.
Oh wow.
And so I would say you cannot make it trying to flip God's money
Oh no.
and trying to make it happen. So I would try to do stuff. So I'll never forget one little story. My mom, hey mama, my mom was watching. I was staying at my mom's, and parents have a way of knowing certain things.
Oh
And
yeah.
so what happened was I had this young Caucasian boy that had come down. We grew up together. Came down to my house. He knocked on the door, and he wanted. So I had a little marijuana and stuff, and wanted enough to get arrested. Everything legal now, that stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing, but
Yeah.
he came down to the house. I'm like, yo, what the world you doing coming to my house? That's what I'm thinking. So I go in my room and I bring out a book. I had a science book, I believe it was. And I put some stuff up in there and walked to the door. And I walked outside the door, whatever. And I was like, man, don't you ever come back to my house
Ever.
ever again, dude. So I gave him the thing or whatever. And the book came back. My mom was like, what you doing? I'm like, Mom, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't stupid. I ain't stupid. You ain't never brought no book home to do no homework. It was I had the whole. He wanted this book, and granted, I don't know. I was young. I think I probably was driving or something like that. I know I had been driving or something, but
Yeah.
it was just certain thing, and it wasn't so much I was doing it because I guess you could say needed it or whatever, but it was like, I had this system. I always wanted to be big.
Yeah.
But I noticed you cannot be quote unquote a kingpin without everybody knowing your name.
Yes.
And and then I had a guy, I'll never forget, he's a mentor, that was like, man, he said, JR, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? And he's like, one thing about it, if you got something good, people are going to talk about it.
That's a fact.
And he said, people never get high alone. they don't ever get high alone and stuff. And so he was just like, whatever you're doing, you need to stop because your name is getting out there. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, cool. So it was just one of them things. Again, you're trying to you think you're trying to get ahead and you're trying to do X, Y, Z. But it was almost like I always felt like how the devil would do. And I don't know if he did you like this. It was almost like whenever I would get down to my last, or if I had somebody like, look, I ain't gonna do it no more. It would seem like it would be a pile of people that run up and buy all your stuff. And now you sitting there like, oh man, let me try it one more time. Now you go out, you buy it, because I don't know what the prices are and stuff. Now we ain't trying to get nobody to go out there, but but it was like you can go out here, you gonna flip, you buy a quarter pound or something like that, XYZ. And if you flip, you're supposed to double. Something you double your, double your money and stuff like that. But then now you come back, this person then came and you like, man, I ain't gonna do it. So it used to be like that the devil, I would call it the devil. It seemed like it would tempt me, be like, you know what? If you go out here and you do this, you can do it. So it's like, but once he finds out that he can't tempt you with certain lifestyles anymore, he tries to find something else, or, So I definitely understand that now, because like you said, you have your son, then you have rapping, and now that's your way of communicating.
Right.
Now here it is, you got your son, all right. Now, were you married at the time?
At the time, I wasn't married. No,
Okay.
not at the time.
Okay, great. So you wasn't married, and so now when you make the step to get married, like how was your girlfriend or your wife them think at that particular time? Like,
When I was doing that,
yeah, when you
oh no,
doing,
I mean,
he's like you hiding, you kind of like,
that's a whole different story that she would have to tell.
oh wow,
I would just say that I don't think she cared for it too much. I just say it like that.
right.
Yeah.
So like I said, because you can bring different things, but now let's say fast forward. Um, you went to church, you got saved. Now your lyrics that you once were using, now it convicts you. So now you become witness. How were you able to make the transition from that street to the church after you get saved? Because many times uh, people don't know that part, that transition. You know, I used to say it like, sometimes the parents of old, we don't know. You seen your mom or your dad hang out with certain people but you never seen how they actually separated it, or they never told that part. How did you make that transition? I know they say you lose friends and stuff like that, but how did you make it?
I mean, I don't mean to be funny, but for me it was kind of easy because all my friends got locked up. So it wasn't one of those situations where it's like I just got to be away from. Now of course some people, I kept my distance from Yanceyville for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was into a lot. Like, you know, I wasn't no kingpin drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? But I sold weed. Drinking and females was like the biggest thing. And I was starting to get into a lot of robbing, you know. So just to address that, it's one of the songs on my album. They Can't Trap My Soul. I addressed this situation. One of my friends, me and one of my friends, we were heavy into robbing at one time. So one day I'm on the way to the studio. He calls me. Like, what's up, bro? What you doing? I'm on the way to the studio. We got one. I'm like, what's your bro? I'm on the way to the studio.
Right,
You know
right.
So I go to the studio, record a record. Next morning, I hear him, a couple of the other guys got locked up. He ended up doing 8 years. Now, if I wasn't on the way to the studio, I would have been in that car. You see what I'm saying? So it's like thinking about just rap. You know what I'm saying? It's not only like a way of communication for me. It's really like a gift that God gave me that has been a safe haven, but has also kept me safe. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of ways.
I put it like this, man. I said, truthfully, music saved my life.
Yeah.
Because many of my friends, too, that they knew, I would get out of certain things. And for those that might talk about a lie or something like that, there's a scripture, and people out there be like, there I go. But there's a scripture that says, agree with thine adversary while you are in the way. Which one of the interpretations of that is, there's some stuff, if a person has a gun to your head and they say you need to do this and that, sometimes you better agree with that person.
There you go.
Agree with your adversary while thou is in the way.
Right.
And it was one of those things, like my friends, how I would get out of stuff, I would be like, look, I got to go over here. I got to play. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, go ahead, Jay. We understand, because they knew at the time, man, that was how I made income. And they were like, oh, yeah, Jay, we'll get up with you. And sometimes, man, I'll be lying, because I knew that if I had gone or something like that, it could go a different way.
Yeah.
Not saying, I wasn't the drinking type or nothing like that, but it was just, look, let me go. And then it got to a point that I knew, even when in certain areas of town, man, that I would go there. You could ride by, and you knew on a certain level they would, try to say if you got whatever, you got some. But man, this music saved my life, man. And it sounds like your gift, because I say your gift to get you in trouble, and your gift can get you out of trouble. So Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And so now with your communication, I want to go to there.
Okay.
Before our time runs out and everything, man.
Okay.
Um, now you're married.
Mhm.
You're saved. Incidentally, Shaun has some clothing. I like one of your shirts that you got. Say you got the circle.
No compromise.
No compromise.
Yeah.
That. Look, real quick before we go to the next part, tell the people how they can get some of your merchandise, your new CD, and
Okay,
everything.
you can contact me on Facebook, also on Instagram, Shaun Witness Woods. Shaun spelled SHAUN, all of it to be together. Shaun Witness Woods. Also, you can hit me up on my website, ShaunWitnessWoods.com. You can go to the link in the bio, and it has everything from the merch to how you can get the music to the website. Also, my book that I wrote, my ebook, is on there too. So anything that you need, everything Shaun Witness Woods, you can reach me like that.
All right, y'all here to continue to like, share, comment. Hey, hopefully you all are getting something out of this interview. So I wanted to talk because you are a husband.
Yes.
We said to shade, we ain't got there. I'm a husband.
Okay.
Now, from my understanding, you in it 12 years, but a
Yeah.
total relationship, about 20 something.
Yeah,
Okay.
it expands probably, I think, like maybe 22.
Right. So now me and my wife are on our seventh. On our seventh.
You better
This
know.
is the seventh.
You better know.
But we've been together.
We're recording this. You better know.
But I think we total 8. So we've been since 2014
Okay,
together.
all right.
Now you know what I'm saying. So with that, the communication has started out because now I got you on here and we can talk about another male. Do you feel, even when it comes to rap and how you're able to communicate there, do you say that's even different from communicating
Absolutely.
in your marriage?
Absolutely. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I've had this type of conversations with some of my friends. It's so crazy how you can be so good with words when you writing a song, writing a poem, but then when it comes to actually communicating with your spouse, things can get lost in translation sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's more so you really have to tune in to the person that you're with, and just
You try to find that
yeah,
love
I'm
language,
really,
right?
you know what I'm saying, trying to, because like for real, like you can think that you're hearing what your wife is saying as a male. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for me, just being a male, my mindset is tell me what's wrong so I can know what to do to fix it.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to get that when at the time she may be expressing how she's just feeling.
Right.
It may not be anything to fix.
Right.
It may just be something to listen to. And even after just listening, still don't do nothing. So you got to kind of
It's
learn.
like a balance. It's
Yeah.
really a balance in that because you're like, okay, are you telling me this because you want me to fix it? Or are you telling me this because you just want me to listen? And then I noticed something too that I always say across the board when it comes to the male species is sometimes men do not articulate or say stuff in the heat of the moment
Yeah.
because things are pretty cool, or they like, okay, I'm gonna just hold it, and then something could come up and she like, well, won't you tell me what it is? It's right. And he like, well, no, I ain't gonna say nothing because now if I say something now, we're at a good place. But you could be like, okay, something happens, like, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. But if you say that's what I'm talking about, then you gotta open up a whole can of
Why you ain't
worms.
say nothing?
Yeah, why you didn't say? So I noticed that men, we communicate and ladies talk. Cause I had a young lady on, I think Casey Cunningham. I don't know if you know, and we were talking about even when it comes to that. And I think we all got to get a whole conversation. I want to get something with singles. I want to get something with married. So we can all do it. Cause I know right now I can see y'all on here now. Sit up there putting the hearts, and y'all probably got some little comments right here, but I ain't gonna read them off right now. But yeah, so that whole communication, because I noticed that sometimes if a woman can ask a man, her spouse or boyfriend, whatever, the same question that a man would ask you, but because it's coming from the female, the the interpretation of it is not the same. So, prime example, which y'all for some to say, what you mean? Okay, a brother may not have a job. I can ask Shaun, so man, what you trying to do for a job, man? What you doing? Shaun will say, well, look, man, I got this in there, man. I'm writing songs. I just wrote a book. I'm doing this, X, Y. I'm like, okay, bro, we got you. The woman can ask you the same thing, the same tone, but it's perceived like, so what are you trying to do? I got this going, I got this, but it's interpreted as, I say it like this, many times everybody has weights on their shoulders. I don't think that females kind of really understand the weight that is accompanied with just the title being quote unquote a man.
Yeah.
And I say it kind of like this: if you and your wife have a house together, and if everything is going well, it's supposed to be, because you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do. Nothing's gonna be looked on her. But if for some reason, y'all lose the house, is up foreclosure, something like that, it's on you. It's he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Now, granted, it's not because of what people think, because most of the time that's what's throwing. Well, you worried about what people think, and it's not that. It's just the weight of being a man that you gotta, provide. That's all that's ever been instilled. So men are trying to do is like, that's why I said with that last little piece that, okay, I'm trying, man. We don't feel that quote unquote threat, if for lack of better words, when another brother is asking, because we feel that you understand.
You understand, exactly.
But when a female asks it, then it's almost being interpreted as, well, she's coming on you like, well, what you gonna do? And let's go back to what we talked about in the earlier conversation when it came to hustling and different things. There are some men that's out there that's doing certain things because whether I know of cats that was working a job and hustling.
Yeah.
They used to call them the quote unquote the smart ones, because you had to have some. Well, how is he getting this and he doesn't have that? But they was working, and it's like, man, look, I'm trying, I'm trying to get this, because when you look at it too, the system is not set up to help the men.
Right.
The system is set up to help
the woman,
the female.
That's true.
So the woman has, she have children, they get housing, get everything. You don't do what you're supposed to do. They got a bars, they got something they'll tell for you. But man, look, this conversation, bro, we definitely gonna have to do a part 2.
Oh yeah.
We definitely, man. But look, Shaun, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you having me,
man. Your experience thus far, even just being 38, man, what you're going through, you and your wife, and y'all still holding on. Man, I'm praying much success for you and all your endeavors. But before we go, could you give an encouraging word to our listeners, the youth, the middle age, anybody, just something that you would like to leave and share with the people that can be encouraging?
I would just say, I know that we're living in a time where a lot of different things are happening. Everybody's going through something. I would just say, I know it might sound cliche, but I would just tell you to keep going. Even with my song being called Pain, I think for some people they may feel like that may be something odd for a Christian artist to speak on. But I would say that, sometimes you have to speak from a place of pain in order to know how to speak to that place, So I would just say, just keep going, keep God first, keep praying, be relentless and getting to where you want to be in life. And yeah, that's it.
Wow. You heard it from Witness. He's telling you, keep going, no matter what. keep going. And I thought about when you said keep going that I think in the medical field, it says that a person is not pronounced legally dead until the blood has ceased to stop circulating in their body.
Yeah.
Keep going. Be relentless. You're going to make it. You're going to get through this. Look, brothers and sisters, look, I'm just excited. Shaun, thank you so much, bro, for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
Look, y'all tune in. Continue to like, share, comment. If you want to donate, look, information is there. Make sure you go check out Shaun's online store, get his merchandise, get his new CD. Go look at the video. All that, the music is on what? Like Apple Music?
Apple Music. You can stream it on all platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, it's everywhere. YouTube, everywhere.
Check it out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I was thinking about this song, Just As I Am, man.
Okay, yeah.
That was one of my joints. And Shaun, I forgot to even tell the people, you've been rocking with us, man. This is 8 years that Bridge the Gap has been doing something. You were our first act in 2014.
Oh, wow.
Then you and your daughter came back, I think, probably a couple of years after that.
Yeah.
And you did a rap, man. So, hallelujah, you have won the victory.
Yeah.
Now, so look, Shaun is not new to this. He's true to this. So look, continue to like, share, comment. Go like his page. Go follow him. Get everything that I already said, not to be redundant. But look, until next week, we got something that's coming up. So look, stay tuned. Like, share, comment. Hey, Chris, take me to the bridge.
Let's bridge the gap.
A tree is known by the fruit that it bears, but a tree don't talk. So in this booth, I'm a pear. I've been prepared for the journey, been compared to the goats. That's all good, but I'm just focused on repairing my folks. I felt God, I was froze. You'd have thought I was paralyzed. The Lord blessed and he healed. And like a Ford wrecked and rebuilt, I still got the same focus, but the hood knew. They could tell you how Shaun Witness Woods do. The Lord's chosen, I am Christ-filled, dudes knew. The door opened, I was NyQuil, flew through. I made it to the news in a way they wasn't used to, broadcasting live the good news on News 2. And they know the alcohol I used to drink up, more old gold in my body than the tomb of King Tut. But I switched lords, new plan. I was young and restless, now I'm the victor, new man. Poetry.
Let's bridge the gap.